Hello, it's 18:30 GMT and good evening to you. Welcome to Key Point. Tonight, we're coming to you live from our studios here at Desawe Kanda. This is the News Hub. My name is Alfred Okansi. Top of the bulletin tonight, we're going to be getting into the uneasy calm we're told at the headquarters of the Ghana COCOBOD in Accra as government's transition team takes over the affairs of that company. We'll get you details of that as Chief Executive Officer Dr. Stephen Opuni is in a meeting, we're told, with the transition team to hand over the dealings of that company, that's COCOBOD, to the NPP administration. We have details of this right here on Key Point. Remember, this is also live on 3news.com and also on DSTV channel 279. My name is Alfred Okansi and this is Key Point. Now, the Chief Executive Officer of COCOBOD, Dr. Stephen Opuni, has been relieved of his post. Now, the announcement follows a release signed by the Executive Secretary to the President, Nana Asante-Bediatu. The letter gave Mr. Opuni up to today, the 13th of January, to leave office by 5 p.m. So he should have left office at the moment. According to the letter dated Thursday, January 12th, Dr. Opuni ceases to hold office as CEO of the COCOBOD upon the assumption of office of President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He is therefore expected to hand over office documents and property by the stipulated date. Now, this follows an earlier directive from the new government asking public officials to vacate their post. A directive from the local government ministry also asked all MMDCs to vacate their post on Thursday, January 12th. Well, so just for the case of those of you who might not have followed this man, and follow me closely because I'm going to run you through what exactly this man was and how he got to this position which is being relieved of. So that's how what you see. He has been fired as CEO of COCOBOD. As per this information, he was appointed as CEO of COCOBOD on the 30th of November, thereabout, in 2013. He earlier also served as CEO of a Food and Drugs Authority as well, somewhere around April 2009 to November 2013. And then also in November 2016, COCOBOD dismissed 2 senior members of staff for refusing to accept transfer to branches across the country. Now, the COCOBOD Industry Workers Union last year also received certificate of approval from Chief Labor Officer to operate. Now, this was after, if you recall, they broke away from the GAWO, that's the General Agriculture Workers Union. So that was the issue, especially with the ICU, that's the Industrial Commercial Workers Union. So that was the problem, and the frosty relationship, I must say, that Dr. Stephen Opuni had with the workers of COCOBOD, indeed, the Workers Union there. This has traveled over the period till now. So it's a clear indication that that was what was going to be happening. Now, we have information that there is uneasy calm at the headquarters of the Ghana COCOBOD in Accra as the government transition team meets with the Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Stephen Opuni, or you can safely say that the former CEO of COCOBOD, to hand over finally. Now, government on Friday, that's earlier today, asked Dr. Opuni to hand over by 5 p.m., which is gone by. So what you see on your screens right now was an earlier meeting that the Workers Union had to hold as a result of this particular development there. That was a situation earlier today. So the transition team is still in a meeting, as far as we know, to get him finally to hand over. Now, the letter signed by the Secretary to the President, Nana Asante-Bediatu, to Director Dr. Opuni, to hand over to the President's representative at the Ministry of Agriculture, Dr. Owusu Efriakoto, and this compelled the team to move in and take over to indeed hand over the affairs. So we got details over there, and quickly let's get into that particular area. On FM's Efia Sari, who has been stationed at the headquarters of COCOBOD, is giving us reports that the meeting started around midday And as at 5:30 p.m., they were still in the meeting. She reports that Dr. Opuni's official car was parked at the parking lot of the CEO as at the time this report was filed. Also, we have information that the worker had to close, leaving the transition team and Dr. Opuni in that particular meeting alone. So that's the chronology of events happening there as a result of what's been happening. I've been joined in studio by the General Secretary of the General Agricultural Workers Union, Edward Karewe, and to understand exactly or what he makes of what's been happening. I thank you so much for your time. It's good evening. It's good to have you. There are those who are raising questions about the mode of the directive that he should hand over immediately. He received as of 5 p.m. today. Is it in consonance with what the law actually says?
Well, thanks very much, and then let me use this opportunity to also greet fellow workers wherever they are. I think it's not unusual to be giving directives, and then once someone has got the capacity to give directives, the person will exercise that directive, unless the directive is in violation of certain procedures. But so far as the directive is not in contradiction of any procedures, then of course the directive will have to hold on. And you see, these are political appointees that go with government. So Dr. Opuni himself should have been aware that once a new government has come to office, he's more likely to go. So I don't think that it should come to him as a surprise. More importantly, when he sees that he has got challenges with the workers. Now,
what exactly are those challenges? I recall that you have always wanted Dr. Opuni out. Now that he's out, you're satisfied?
Well, we always wanted certain administrative practices to be followed. We don't want chief executives to take the law into their own hands. Our relationship with COCOBOD predates Dr. Opuni, and there be certain legal relationship agreements, and we do this through collective bargaining certificate and then collective bargaining agreement. Now, the rules are clear as to how we relate with the chief executive, and the chief executive will relate, or the management of COCOBOD relate with workers' challenges. But unfortunately, we had a difficulty with Dr. Opuni because he disregarded all, lawful procedures.
If you talk about his disregard of lawful procedure, what exactly? I mean, you're just stating the case. I recall some of your members were dismissed, from COCOBOD, GAWO members. You've had, and it's clear, a frosty relationship with Dr. Opuni till today. Now, so if there was a clear violation of the law, what was it exactly?
For instance, we have a collective bargaining agreement which states under Article 16 that if a worker is to be transferred, he must be given 2 months' notice for his transfer. Besides that, the transfer must be arranged in such a way that it coincides with the academic year, so that people can arrange to take their children to their new stations. Beyond that, if you're a union executive, there must be consultation and agreement with the union why you should be transferred. Those things have already been agreed upon and signed. So if you want to effect the transfer, you simply have to give the 2 months notice. In absence of that, the letters that were written for those people to be transferred were saying with immediate effect. Now, when a management exercises that power to transfer a worker with immediate effect, one will have to ask, what has been the exigency to the extent that it must be immediate effect?
So I want the specific answer to the question whether any law was violated in that directive of transferring a staff with immediate effect. What specific law was violated?
The specific law was the Labor Act, Act 651, which out of the Labor Act, we have developed a collective agreement. And I've just quoted the article of the collective agreement that details how transfers should be made. It does not lie in the unilateral decision of management to violate that. Otherwise, you create chaos. You see, that is why we say that he has violated the law, and all efforts to get the management of COCOBOD, headed by Dr. Opuni, to sit down with us to resolve that issue. He did not. And because of that, we even had to go to court.
I recall.
So as we are talking...
What's the status of that particular case now?
No, it's still running. It's still running. Then the next session will be 19th. Next Thursday, we'll be going to court. Because we thought that Dr. Opuni had violated even principle. You know, we are living in a country with rules and laws. The Labor Act has not been produced by the union alone. It is a negotiated agreement. And the Labor Act has been produced out of the Constitution. So to disregard, lay down rules, laws, and to act capriciously, we think that it was too much, and we had to seek the intervention of the law to bring the COCOBOD as a corporate body, and then the chief executive. I
was just coming to that. I mean, now I recall that particular suit. The respondents to that particular suit, which you filed in court, was COCOBOD and Dr. Opuni. You know, so now that he's out of office as the CEO of COCOBOD, are you going to pursue that case? And then, in what capacity would he now be responding to the reliefs that you sought in that particular suit?
Well, the court will have to decide. For us, we have gone to the court to seek certain reliefs to restrain Dr. Opuni from exercising unilaterally and capriciously against our members, violating the fundamental rights of our members, violating the fundamental rights of the union. And in that case, as the first defendant, the COCOBOD, which is a corporate body, is still alive, is still there. Dr. Opuni, the chief executive, who is the second defendant, I think he's still around. So it will be left to the court to decide whether the case should be continued or they'll rule on it and so on. So we are still waiting on the court.
Let me just do this quickly. I'm just going to just hold on a bit on that. Alhaji Idris Hassan is the chairman of the Supreme Consultative Council of COCOBOD. Alhaji, I thank you. Good evening to you, if you can hear me.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Now, how does this news of Dr. Opuni's sack get to you?
I'm not hearing you.
Can you hear me, Alhaji?
Yes.
Okay, I'm asking how this news of Dr. Opuni's sack got to you, the council.
Well, I'm not in Accra. In fact, I came over to attend a funeral of one of my relations. So, on the way, I was told that this is what has taken place in Accra. And I'm having a lot of calls from the workers. If I'm really aware of what has taken place, and I said the way they heard it, that's the same way I've also gotten the news.
Now, so what exactly was the demand of the workers from you? What did they expect you to have done about this?
Yes. You know, we have the appointing body, which happens to be the government. And they appoint and then disappoint as well. And this really is something that we are yet to come to grips with what really came into this decision. But as I said, the appointing body is the government. So we're looking forward to see what will happen maybe tomorrow.
Are you saying that you are not happy or you're not in favor of this decision to have Dr. Opuni immediately hand over and vacate his position as CEO of COCOBOD?
The fact is that it has to do with the style of various governments. There's a process that we go through in appointing chief executives of various enterprises. And this is the way the government would want to go about it. And we are yet to meet and then look at it, the way really things have taken place. Because like I said, we all heard just like you are asking me. I got to Sunyani, no Techimai, and I was called and told that this is what has taken place.
But I'm saying that your workers are making, or your union members are making demands of you, or the council members are making demands of you. And I'm asking you if you are not in favor or you're not too happy about that, the mode of his dismissal, and that's why you're raising questions about it as a council?
No, the council is yet to meet. Workers are just calling to find out whether what they have heard is true, and now it's clear that
I can tell you on authority that it is true. So
yes, they are aware that it's true now. So the mood of the workers, in fact, we can talk about it maybe tomorrow. We'll look at it and then, but like I said, you know, workers, we don't appoint. The appointing body happen to be the government. And we don't know what really have come into this. So we are yet to meet the social partners and then hear what they really have.
No, but assuming, in fact,
enterprise.
now that I'm telling you is true, what are you going to do next?
You see?
I'm telling you it is true. So what are you going to do next?
What we are going to do next?
Yes.
But one thing is that workers cannot say anything for now.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
What we need to... Hello?
Yes, you say you're going to meet tomorrow. So we'll come to you tomorrow for the outcome
I'm
of your
in
meeting.
Wabet. I think there will be an informed position tomorrow.
Okay.
So you can talk to me tomorrow.
Grateful. Thank you very much. That's Alhaji Musa, who is the chairman of the Supreme Council of the COCOBOD. I'm sure that let me round it up with you here. Now, clearly, there is that uneasy calm we're told over there, and with the understanding we're getting, it's not really going down, rubbing off too well with some section of the workers. Now, you as a union, how, what next for you after the exit of Dr. Opuni from this position?
Well, we will say that the reigns of Dr. Opuni has brought about division in the labor force within the COCOBOD, and then his exit. I will entreat all workers to become, because the union is there to take care of them. Unfortunately, that is the same position that we are, Hassan, my colleague, who has arrogated to himself still as a chairman of the Supreme Consultative
You say
Council.
if he's arrogated to himself,
Because he was, no, he's not, of course. These are some of the matters. He's the third defendant in court anyway, so I would like to leave the matter.
So is he not the legitimate
No, he's not the legitimate
chairman of the council?
He's not the legitimate.
Who is?
Because,
and why?
you know, rules govern who should be.
Okay.
You just don't get up one day and then continue to declare himself. He's a retired employee. He has, he's now on contract, you know. And then, in the scheme of the labor relations and union and structures, he cannot still continue to be the Supreme Consultative Council. Like I said, that is the position that we are contesting. And unfortunately, he was strongly supported by the Chief Executive to continue to create problems within the labor force. Okay. So we entreat all workers of COCOBOD to stay calm, and that it is the prerogative of government to appoint and disappoint. And that if they have any issues, the union will intervene appropriately.
Thank you. Edward Karo is the General Secretary of the General Agricultural Workers Union, and they have been at the warpath with Stephen Opuni. We're monitoring the